know if that supernatural isn't coming from the
No,
divine
I'm just
or
curious
the
why
demonic.
you would ask that from an agnostic perspective. It's okay. No, I don't mind. Yeah. The question is, just in case you haven't heard it, and I hope I phrased it correctly.
Yes.
According to the Christian faith, and this man is an agnostic, he's unsure of the existence of God, but he said according to the Christian faith, Satan is very smart.
Yes.
And he could do tremendous things.
Yes.
And he could produce great works. And so how do you know that Satan didn't produce this to
Deceive.
what?
To deceive and basically
To
lead-
deceive people
lead men to hell.
and lead them away from God.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Well, let me say this. If this was the work of Satan, although, in the Quran, Satan is stripped of much of his power. It says the guile of Satan is weak. So there's a different religious perspective here. Satan but whispers, and certain people follow them. He whispers into their heart. He's that source of temptation that they're exposed to, and he follows them. But he says in many places in the Quran, I had no power over you. He's really sort of stripped of the power. So he doesn't have the same tremendous power that he has in Christianity, for example.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, how do I know that this couldn't be the work of some great evil force that was trying to deceive people and to lead them away from the belief in God? Well, if Satan were so clever, and it was his design to produce this so it would lead them away from the belief of God and righteous living, then he failed miserably. Because there's 1 billion people around the world, even to this day, that through the Quran are devout believers in one God.
But therefore they don't believe in Jesus. Therefore his master scheme would have worked because now people are going to hell, which therefore Satan likes.
Well, maybe from the Christian perspective, but I'm
Yes.
just saying from an outside perspective. From an outside perspective, if Satan wanted to create something that would get people to do evil, then he failed miserably. Because this same scripture has gotten people to live righteous lives, to dedicate themselves to doing goodness, to give up drinking, to give up sexual licentiousness, to give up all the things he supposedly wants us to do. He's gotten people to give up murder, to give up killing, to give up violence, to give up theft, to give up stealing, to give up lying, to give up cheating, to love God, to love his prophets, to love Jesus, and on and on and on. If this was the work of a demon, then I would say that Satan was a very good guy.
Well, okay.
I'm talking from an outside perspective, not from any religious point of view. Are you following me? As an atheist, when I first read the Quran, you're asking me from the atheist perspective because I read it as an atheist. If this is the type of things that Satan is advocating, then he's a good person. That would have been my reaction.
Christian morality is similar too.
What?
Christian morality is very similar
To what? Well, fine. So the Muslims do not discount that there's a lot of truth in Christianity, for example. Unlike other religions, the Quran, other people, let me say, unlike certain people, the Quran does not say that only Muslims will enter paradise someday. It says that people of other scriptures will too. People of other religions can too, provided that they're being sincere and that they are living according to what they truly know. Are you following me?
I get what you're saying. You're coming from a moral perspective. But
Yeah.
I think the possibility still exists that when if you're saying that you would believe Satan would be a very good God, there's still the possibility exists that could be correct.
What could be correct?
That obviously that could be correct by another supernatural thing. That if you're going with supernatural, that is possible.
Well, no, unless I feel, for me, you remember you're talking to me we're talking from, I hope we're talking, because I hope you're not saying, Jeff, put on the hat of a Christian and then approach this. But I hope you're just saying that from a, say, objective level. From an objective level, couldn't this possibly be the work of Satan? And like I said, that my response would be, then he is a very good being, because he wants us to do all these good things. The other thing I was going to say but if, Satan's only real concern is to get people to either accept or not accept the belief in the divinity of Jesus. and that's his only real concern, then I would think that then God really is kind of cruel, and Satan is really not so bad, if that's his only real concern. Because, you know, if I'm just down here on earth for no other purpose than to acknowledge the sonship of Jesus, and that's what all this strife and struggle and everything on this earth is about. If that's the only reason I'm here. God put me here for no other purpose than to acknowledge that. Then I'm sorry, I can't see that even the necessity of all of this. No, that's coming from the atheist perspective. Yeah, because it's incompatible with, it would be incompatible with how I would reason. Yeah, because then I would have to start asking that person questions. And I've been in these conversations many times, and as I start asking them questions, their reasoning for that position starts to fall apart. And the only thing they could tell me finally is that, well, I mean, it's a matter of faith. You know, and that's what it inevitably becomes. But I don't want to stand here and attack the Christian perspective tonight.
I know, but then I've also known people, for example, the event for the Boston where for example, a very negative force that's made concept of, you know, the God, you know, like idea of the concept of the power king ruling over them. They find it very offensive. They find it very, they like the distant God.
No, that's fine. I was just presenting, you know, I was just presenting a rational perspective, that's all.
All right.